Welcome back to another episode of Drew's Farming Life. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be explaining to you what the crack was with the Big M last week during silage. Before we start, please take a look at my merch link. It's in the description at the bottom, and my Instagram is now there too. So, around 130-150 acres in cutting, this left-hand mower decided it was stop and going. As you can see, there's no bed on it now. So what happened was, the bearing for the main drive, so the shaft comes down out of the gearbox into the bed here. The bearing in theirs went, which meant the whole bed wouldn't go, which wasn't ideal, but it's been taken off. We've now got the parts, and Dad's been sorting it out. Calves are roan wanting fed, so that'll happen soon. So been looking about in there for the bearings. There's the main drive there, and yeah, pretty well stripped. See, there's all the ball bearings that were in there rolling about, so got to get all of them out and fine ones before we put it back together, otherwise it'll cause more harm. So let's hope we've got everything before we put it back together. And then I was down to one more eventually as well, because I was driving about and went through a dip. So the front mower's quite prone to digging in, so that's what this front mower did. It dug in and loaded itself up with soil. So cleaned it all out, got it going again, done another round of the field, and then it just started combing the grass. And what you've seen was smoke, and well, in there you can just see the cog, the belt cog there. So the belt burnt itself out. So after that happened, there was no front mower driving, so the belt goes onto the shaft comes through to this, and this goes. So we've got a belt to change, and then that bed to sort, and she should be ready to go. But it's just been a hassle, but just one of the things. And then there's actually a faraway pot in the top, the right hand mower sitting in the cab. It's wobbling a wee bit, so we're just going to need to take the pot off, change the bearings. So that's this part that was in the bed, so the bearings are in here. There's two bearings, so just need to strip it and replace the bearings, and then it'll be back to brand new before it goes. So just one of the things, just need to check that shaft, you know, the main drive shaft. We didn't think to shake it and feel it, so there you go, we learn. So that's basically it with the Big M, you know. That's well, that's what's been happening with it, so we'll soon get it sorted. We've got the new bearings, a new shaft, a new belt, so all of that's still to go on it, so we'll get there eventually, working away at it. But we've been at the slurry, had to put out quite a lot of slurry to get the third cut growing. We've actually ran out of slurry. We've been spreading it with tankers only, just to try and use as much of it as we can, to spread, well, to get over as much ground as we can, because it's far easier doing it that way than the umbilical, because we don't have a flow meter. A flow meter would mean that we would know exactly what we're putting on, and then you could probably guess how much to put on in each field. Then you could rattle away that way. At least with the tankers, you know, you're putting 2,000 gallon out per whatever, you know. So I was using the 70-40, and we had somebody else helping with the other tanker, and we blitzed it. So basically the tower is empty for the first time since it's been here. So this is the tower empty. Well, I've shut the valves at the bottom now, but there was a hole there this morning that was just trickling in. The rest of the tower's just crust that's left. As you can see, after a certain point the paddles are no use. Probably see it better over the other side if I can get it to. So once it's in the last string below there, it's really hard to actually mix without having to pump it back in with the jet. And because of the size of the tower with the jet trying to get it to mix up properly, we're just pumping off just your old well, if it was an umbilical pump it would probably pump with a lot more pressure and get it going a lot better, but it's just crust that's left, so, and it's right down, so there's absolutely nothing left. That's the lowest it's been since it went up 3 years ago. So, and the slats are probably the emptiest it's been for a long time too. So that's basically what's happening here. So the tower's well empty, we've ran out of slurry, nitrogen's to go out, so we've got some nitrogen to try and give her on a wee kick, just for a little bit more of third cut. Second cut wasn't that brilliant, so probably going to need some more, so we bought some nitrogen, we're going to put it down just for a bit extra. Seen a couple of comments saying that there was bugger all second cut there. Well, I knew that. We didn't use any fertilizer second cut, saving some money on it, you know. And well, we need a wee bit more silage, so we're going to use some nitrogen now. But we could grow quite a bit with just slurry, so that's what we did. So we're still waiting on the 80 acres down the road to grow. It's next week I think we're going to be cutting it, so that'll fill the pit right up, I would have thought. And then third cut on top of all that, and we should be pretty well set, and we'll have saved a fortune on not using that much nitrogen at all, only using it for first cut and a wee drop for second cut, third cut, sorry. So that's what we're doing at the moment, and if we can work out how much slurry to spread per cut, we'll base it off this year to next year. We'll try and make better use of the slurry and utilise it. Try and utilise it better so that we're not using as much fertiliser again. So we'll try to do that, and it's just need to see how things go, and that's what we're trying to do, save money, you know, it's good to try anything. So I'll go show you the barley shortly. It's really coming on, it's starting to head. The winter barley, it'll not be far away from harvesting, so I'll get that in another video soon, because I'll need to travel to go and see it. So I'll get that in a video soon. Either that or you'll just see it when the combine comes out. So aye, that's what we're working with, and that's just what we're doing. Yes, we got her going again. Got the new belt on for the front. Got the bearings sorted in that one. So we're cutting this awkward field up the road. We left it, so this was we took first cut off this field, and now we left it to grow and didn't cut it for second cut. We didn't spread any slurry on it. It's went a bit hairy, there's quite a bit of leaf in it, so we're going to leave it to dry out and make a field of haylage out it. There'll not be too much in it, but it'll be just about the right amount for us during the winter. So yes, here we go. As you can see over there, the sun is setting on a beautiful night. So I am absolutely 100% glad to see this thing going. I'm so happy after what happened to it. So just one of the things, just got to keep on top of the maintenance, I suppose. But well, front mower was, as I said earlier, probably my fault. And the left hand mower is something that we should have checked, but we didn't think to check, so something that we now know to check for, so aye. Glad to see her cutting again anyway, for definite, because what a difference this makes in time scale. If If only we could get a go of her going really well, eh? Bro. So that's the haylage all cut up the road there. So leave it to wilt a couple of days. So some folk want to see the barley. So this is a spring barley all growing in here. So surely coming along. It's fast approaching. You can see it's starting to shoot the heads. You know, the awns are starting to come through. So the heads are all starting to poke out. Quite a few of them anyway. An absolute stonker of a day again. This video is actually turning out to take quite a while to record. I've got clegs following me. Get off me. Hate clegs. So, or horseflies, whatever folk want to call them. Keep trying to attack the back of my arms, so not ideal. But that's this field of barley. I believe that was the first one sown with a new seeder. This came through very well. Good, healthy, thick crop, I believe. Second field's down there. Silage is growing in pretty well. This field got a wee bit of slurry. We didn't have enough slurry, so I got a very quick spread with it. We eventually ran out of slurry, as I showed you in the tower. So we've got fert to go out, but we're not wanting to put it out just yet because the ground is very dry. And a few years ago when we put it out too early, well, put it out because it was, well, putting fert out, but it was too dry. A few weeks later he went out and looked through the grass and there's still wee pebbles of fert in the ground, you know. It didn't get washed in, you know, there's no moisture to let it absorb into the ground. So we're going to wait till nearly the weekend, and it's to rain on Sunday, I believe. So Sunday, so hopefully we'll spread the fert about Friday, and after that we'll get the fert. Spread the fert around Friday, and then the rain will do its magic and put it into the soil, and it'll all grow, and hopefully we'll get a decent third cut. So this is a field that was out of grass into barley, so it's growing really well. It's not so good here because it's the gateway, but this field's a little bit behind because it's the later variety. I can't remember how much later it is. I think it's 10 days back. So that's growing in pretty well. It's really thick because when you plough grassland into crop, it releases all the nitrogen, and that's been left in the soil, as Father says, always seems to grow really, really well the year after. You know, the year it's been ploughed and then put into barley always seems to grow really, really well. And then there's a big hill up there. It's going kind of yellow because it's the earlier variety up there. So, aye, everything's growing well. Sorry I've not been posting very much recently. Just been busy and taking a wee rest from making videos and whatnot, but I'll try and get as much up as I can in the near future. It's just taking a wee break, you know. So see you all next time. Hopefully it'll be a lot quicker. I get a video up soon. Might be even tedding the hay out with a wee hay bob, I'm not sure. Just need to see how it goes because it'll need done for the weekend, as I said, because there's rain coming. So thank you all watching. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time. This is Drew's Farm Life, and I am Drew. This is what's been happening, and yeah, please subscribe.